One bright Saturday morning in a small town called Maple Creek, a hardworking farmer named Mike walked outside carrying an old wooden bucket. His son Jake was sitting on the front porch tossing pebbles at a fence and looking bored out of his mind. Summer vacation had just started, and Jake had already spent 2 whole days complaining that there was literally nothing fun to do. Mike walked over, set the bucket on the porch floor, crossed his arms, and smirked. "Yo, Jake, I got something for you." Jake looked up and raised an eyebrow. "What is it?" Mike pushed the bucket toward him. "Take this bucket and go fill it with something valuable." Jake stared at it for a few seconds. "Wait, that's it?" Mike nodded. "Yep," Jake laughed. "Bro, easy. I'm about to come back with treasure, or something." He grabbed the bucket and sprinted down the dirt road feeling hyped. In his mind he was already imagining finding a chest full of gold coins or rare gems or maybe even hidden money. Someone dropped. "Dad's gonna freak out," he whispered with a huge grin on his face. Jake walked toward the town market first because he figured valuable stuff had to be there. "Whoa," he said. He walked up to a toy shop and stared at a huge remote control car sitting on a shelf. "Man, that thing is sick." But then he frowned. "Wait, I don't have money." He sighed and kept walking. Next he spotted a jewelry stand with sparkling necklaces and rings. The sunlight bounced off the jewelry and almost blinded him. Jake's eyes got huge. "Okay, now we're talking." But after a second, he remembered something. "Yeah, pretty sure taking random jewelry would be stealing." He slowly backed away. Hours passed. Jake looked near the river. He climbed over rocks. He searched under trees. He checked beside old buildings. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. By the afternoon, his excitement had disappeared. Sweat rolled down his face and his feet hurt. "Nah, this is crazy," he complained. "I've been out here forever." He sat under a tree and dropped the empty bucket beside him. "This bucket is still empty, right?" Then he noticed an old woman walking slowly near the road. Her name was Mrs. Wilson, and everybody in town knew her. She lived alone in a tiny house on the edge of town. She was carrying 2 heavy bags and looked like she was struggling big time. Jake watched people walk right past her. Nobody stopped. Everyone looked busy doing their own thing. Jake looked at the bucket beside him. Then he looked at Mrs. Wilson. "Dang," he whispered. He stood up and jogged over. "Hey, Mrs. Wilson, you good?" The old woman smiled weakly. "Oh, honey, I'm all right. These bags are just a little heavy." Jake looked at the bags and almost laughed because they looked like they weighed 100 pounds. "A little heavy?" "Nah, these things are fighting for their lives." Mrs. Wilson laughed. Jake grabbed the bags and said, "I got you." He carried them all the way to her house. When they got there, she smiled and thanked him. "You're a sweet kid, Jake." Jake smiled back. "No problem." As he turned around to leave, he looked at the bucket again and sighed. Still empty. He kept walking. A few minutes later, he saw a little boy sitting near a sidewalk crying. Jake walked over. "Yo, dude, what happened?" The kid sniffed and pointed down the road. "My dog ran away." Jake looked around. "Oh man." He looked at his bucket, then back at the kid. He sighed. "All right, let's go find him." They searched for almost 30 minutes before hearing barking near some bushes. Jake climbed over a fence and spotted the little dog stuck between branches. "Dad's gonna think I failed," he muttered. When he got home, Mike was sitting on the porch drinking lemonade. He looked up and smiled. "Well?" Jake placed the bucket down and looked at the ground. "Sorry, Dad." Mike tilted his head. "Sorry for what?" Jake sighed. "I looked everywhere for something valuable. I checked the market, the river, and all over town. I couldn't find gold or money or treasure. Mike looked at the bucket. That's all. Jake shrugged. I mean, I helped Mrs. Wilson carry her bags. And I helped some kid find his dog. But that's it. Mike stared at him for a second. Then he started smiling. Then smiling turned into laughing. Jake looked confused. Bro, why are you laughing? Mike shook his head. Jake, you really don't get it. Jake crossed his arms. Get what? Mike pointed at the bucket. You filled it. Jake blinked. Huh. Mike stood up and sat beside him. Listen, buddy, money disappears. Gold gets lost. Cool stuff breaks. But helping people? Kindness. That stays with people forever. Jake stared at him quietly. Mike continued. Mrs. Wilson is gonna remember your help. That little kid is gonna remember what you did for him. You walked out looking for treasure and didn't even realize you found the best. Kind? Jake looked down at the bucket and suddenly everything clicked in his mind. All day he thought value meant money and expensive things. But every moment he helped someone, people smiled. People felt better. People mattered. The bucket never stayed empty at all. Jake smiled slowly. Dang. Mike laughed and patted him on the back. Exactly. Dang. That night, Jake sat near his bedroom window, looking out at the stars and thinking about his day. For the first time, he understood something important. The greatest things in life were never the things you could hold in your hands. Sometimes the best treasure was the stuff you left in people's hearts. Moral kindness is the greatest treasure because money and things fade away. But the good you do for others can last forever.